Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the MMA Amateur Hour. Today we're going to be going over predictions for the upcoming UFC on Fox card, Robbie Lawler versus Rafael dos Anjos. I just wanted to give quick predictions, my predictions for the main card, the main four fights. We're looking at Glover Teixeria versus Misha Cirkunov, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Mike Perry, Ricardo Lamas versus Josh Emmett, Sacramento, where I'm from, where this video is being shot from, and Robbie Lawler versus Rafael dos Anjos in the 175-pound division. Likely, probably being looked at as a number one contenders fight now. Starting with Glover Teixeira and Misha Cirkunov, I'll go through that one quickly. I think probably Glover Teixeira will pull that one off. Misha Cirkunov just had the loss to Ozdemir, and really other than that hasn't had, super high level competition as far as big names and high level guys. So I think Glover Teixeira is obviously the more experienced guy. He's a little seasoned. He's been knocked out a couple times recently, but I think Glover Teixeira pulls it off either by a late stoppage or by decision. Next we have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Mike Perry. I'm going to pick Mike Perry by KO. I think Ponzinibbio has a good chance of winning as well. I believe he just knocked out Gunnar Nelson recently, which is an impressive win. Gunnar Nelson, really his claim to fame is his tie to Conor McGregor, but he's had some decent fights with some good guys, and he's won. So I think Ponzinibbio having that win over Gunnar Nelson, and recently, I think it was June or July that he did that. He'll have, some momentum going in. But Mike Perry just has that one-punch power that he could put anybody out with one shot. And so I'm going to pick Mike Perry by KO, but it wouldn't be surprising to me if Ponzinibbio beat Mike Perry either by stoppage or decision as well. But my official pick is Mike Perry by KO. Next we have Ricardo Lamas versus Josh Emmett. As much as I'll be rooting for Josh Emmett, he's a Sacramento boy, team alpha male, and I'm born and raised in Sacramento, so I'll be rooting for Josh Emmett. I'm going to pick Josh Emmett to win, but Ricardo Lamas obviously is super dangerous. He has fought much better competition over his career than Josh Emmett has, and Josh Emmett's relatively new to the UFC. I think this is maybe third or fourth fight. I just think Ricardo Lamas is going to be a really tough out for Josh Emmett at this point in his career. Josh Emmett has, sky's the limit for him. Like I said, I'm rooting for him. I'm going to pick him to win by decision. But smart money is probably on Ricardo Lamas. Obviously, he's at the top of the heap. He had his recent loss was to the champion, TJ Dillashaw. His most recent loss, anyway. So Ricardo Lamas is right up there. I think he's the favorite going into the fight, but I'm going to pick Josh Emmett by decision. And then Robbie Lawler versus Rafael dos Anjos. If it's not, it should be a number one contender shot to fight Tyrone Woodley, especially with George St. Pierre sick and vacating the 185-pound title. Obviously, Nate Diaz doesn't seem to have any interest in coming back anytime soon. So I think this makes sense for the 170-pound number one contender spot. Rafael dos Anjos has looked really good coming up to 170. What he did to Neil Magny recently was really impressive, but Robbie Lawler's not Neil Magny. Robbie Lawler's a different animal, been around a long time, very seasoned, knows how to survive, unless you put him to sleep like Tyrone did. Robbie Lawler knows how to survive. I think this is going to be a really, really tough fight for dos Anjos. It's going to be a really tough fight for Robbie Lawler. But I think this is just good timing for Rafael dos Anjos to make a statement win on a fighter in Robbie Lawler who's closer to the end of his career than he is the beginning, obviously. Robbie Lawler, don't get me wrong, he has absolute 100% knockout power with one shot in his hands and his feet, more so in his hands. and he's obviously the former welterweight champion. He's been around a long time. But I think this is the perfect storm for Rafael dos Anjos. He has a lot of momentum going into this fight. He's the younger guy. Cardio is going to be a lot better than Robbie Lawler. If he can take it to deep waters, I think he definitely has the better chance. Although we've also seen Robbie Lawler in the past really turn it on in the championship rounds, so you just can't ever count him out. But I do think Rafael dos Anjos is going to take the fight. It's hard to predict how he's going to win. I think if I was going to put money on it, I'd say he wins by either a late stoppage or decision. Rafael dos Anjos is not a small welterweight by any means. Robbie Lawler is obviously a pretty good-sized welterweight. He's fought a lot of his career at 185 pounds also. So I think Robbie Lawler will have a slight size advantage. But Rafael dos Anjos, we're talking about a world-class jiu-jitsu guy. His stand-up has been really much better over the last couple of years. And obviously with Robbie Lawler, there's no question in the stand-up. So officially I'm going to go with Rafael dos Anjos by either decision or late stoppage. But again, just like some of these other predictions, Robbie Lawler can end it in one fight or in one shot. And Rafael dos Anjos did get stopped by Eddie Alvarez in a smaller weight class. But in 170-pound division, I think that's really where Rafael dos Anjos is going to be most comfortable, which he seems to have been his last few fights. So his chin might be, a little stronger in this division. His cardio is going to be better in this division, although it wasn't bad in 155. So Rafael dos Anjos by decision or late stoppage, that's the prediction. While I'm on the topic of, fights, congratulations to Brian Ortega with the win over Cub Swanson this last Saturday. That was super impressive. I thought that fight would be quite a bit closer than it was. I thought it would go a little longer than it did. Cub Swanson's a warrior and a survivor, so for him to get tapped like that, that was a super tight guillotine, something that he just must not have felt he was, at that point going to be able to get out of or even have any chance of fighting off. So, new superstar in that division with Brian Ortega. The guy's undefeated. Had a few close fights, but ultimately tends to pull it off. So congratulations to him. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with even more top-tier talent in that division. And that is all I have for you guys tonight. If you like the video, press the like button. Subscribe if you want to. You can go to the next step. You can share the video. I do apologize for some of the audio. I'm getting that worked out. I do have some microphones, but those are for different uses, so I have a separate microphone on the way. So I apologize for any audio issues if you have trouble hearing. But like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel. A lot more to come as things progress and we kind of get a little better quality of equipment and whatnot in here. Say goodnight to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And remember, be more fearless. Have a good night.